Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome out from the depths where we're building our cruiser. It is coming along nicely now. I've done a bit more work off camera. And you see that, well, actually quite a bit of work has been done off camera. So, notably, let's start at the front. This gun, someone mentioned to me that yes, you can in fact make rail guns actually buff accuracy rather than speed. Which doesn't really make any sense. But, hey-oh, I've done it to 100% of energy we use for an accuracy buff. So the accuracy is now at 0.2. Not the best, but whatever. I've also changed it. You can see this barrel here still is the old ammo, and this barrel is the new ammo. This new ammo is slightly faster, probably a slightly longer cooldown, but it's also frag rather than using hash. I found that a very narrow cone of frag still works pretty well against metal. So we're going to be using that over here on the front gun. I'm still actually not sure about the front gun in general. I might just... It's actually pretty bad. It's very tempting just to rip this front gun up and just put in a new gun. Something with a single barrel, in inverted commas, but actually have 4 barrels off of one mantlet. Something like that rather than this, because honestly... Ugh. But that's something I'll think about for a little while before really implementing it. What else have I done? Okay, right, well, we've built up this area a little bit more. We've installed, since they've only just been added to the game, anti-missile weapon systems. Now, they're not the best. In fact, a laser anti-missile system is just strictly better. But it takes up more space. But I've actually got space in this craft. This craft is fairly large. However, I really wanted to put in some phalanx weapons on this. So here we've got one on each side, a 6-barrel phalanx system. It's pretty badass. It fires like doo-doo, doo-doo. So the odd missile might get through, especially if they spam them very fast, but in general it is okay. I also put in some stairs now that stairs are in the game. Although stairs are purely decorative, you can't actually go up and down them. Which is annoying. Seriously. That's kind of the point behind stairs. But they're in the game for when we actually get the ability to go up and down stairs. At least you can jump up and down them. So that should allow us to get down to here. We have a missile system I put in. It's just a really bog standard missile system, but it's using lure missiles. Because top-down missiles tend to be a bit iffy in the game sometimes, and I find that lure just helps a little bit. Right, so we've got lure, 1 ejector, and just, quite frankly, a whole crap ton of missiles. It's not subtle. It's 28 missiles here. They've all got 1 explosive warhead. Well, explosive warheads got buffed recently. Actually got double the amount of damage. Because for ages, you would use very little explosive. You would mainly use frag. And now explosive do more damage. There's actually a purpose to using them. So we've got fin, variable thruster at 1.2 the normal speed, with a ramp time of 3 seconds because it's being fired upwards. 1 turn, fuel, explosive warhead, and lure missile receiver. There's also a staggered fire add-on. You are a staggered fire add-on, I believe. Yes, 0.1. No, you should be 0.2. There we go. And we've got a friendly fire, although that's not really needed because lure doesn't need that, but whatever. And I've also got on the back another turret, because I got to here and I was like, right, I really want to end this ship, but it's way too high up. I need to bring it down. So this is going to be the last real turret. And this turret is a twin quad barrel, relatively inaccurate, it's 0.64 frag. So it just fires frags. Not massively fast, not massively accurate, but it burst fires them, so it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4 from each barrel. So it's effectively 2, 4, 6, 8. Reload. 2, 4, 6, 8. And that should be able to, you know, to an extent, shoot down aircraft as well, because it does have a velocity of 332 meters per second. Which means that any large aircraft are still at a risk of this. Now, it doesn't actually have a mantlet that allows for AA. It actually has the normal standard elevation mantlet. I might switch it to an AA mantlet. I am debating that, because an AA mantlet would allow it to get, you know, full upwards targeting. So that's something I'm thinking about. And quite frankly, that's it. I've got to, at some point, put batteries inside. I'll probably put batteries inside here, or... where's another of our bulkheads? Here. Honestly, don't really know. I will really have to have enough think about this turret, though, because for a frontal turret, it's pretty naff. We've got a lot of weapons on this, by the way. I never really intended this to go that far backwards, and yes, we are completely over our limit. You know, I said there was a 200k limit. Yeah, we're on 320k. Oh, this series started out so well. What I might do is I'll rethink of this one, give it one of these cannon systems that I've got over here. But the problem is with the cannon system I've got over here, the accuracy is pretty naff. And for a fast-firing cannon like this, you actually have issues with the railgun system unless you put like a massive fire delay on it. The rail just can't charge fast enough. So I don't know really what we're going to do. How much width have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically we've got enough width to put some rail systems on here. We'll have to think. But other than that, it's a case of effectively padding the thing out, putting some propellers on the back, putting our thrusters, because we are going to need a lot of thrusters to turn this puppy. Putting shields down, putting AI down. A lot of that is just effectively grunt work. Putting shields down, it's pretty boring and standard. You've seen me do that before. Padding the entire thing out is just going to be effectively... I'll do that on a slow-mo. You can just see a time-lapse of that, because that'll be pretty cool to watch. Right, so I finished the cruiser, or at least finished it for now. You know, there might be some, tweaking to be done down the line, but I believe it is in a usable state. It is also considerably over budget at almost 500,000 metal. Less than 10,000 blocks though, so it's not ridiculously large. It's large, but it's not ridiculously so. But 500,000 metal is certainly 2.5 times our original budget. I would make a really good public sector construction company. Be like, oh, government, yeah, it's only going to take, several million pounds. Oh, by the way, it took 10.7 billion. Whoops. Yeah, okay. So let's do the slow zoom out from the bridge. Dum, dum, dum. And I already know one tweak that needs to be done. I haven't actually set the shields to be on only when there are enemies around. So, this is our cruiser. I think it looks pretty badass. I think it looks pretty badass indeed. You look at this, it's 1 and a bit blocks above the waterline there. No propellers on the back are actually sort of out of the water in some cases. On the bottom we have rear propeller, front propeller. Notice the rear propeller is actually working right now, and the front propeller isn't. That's because I've set up PID controller. Programmable interface device? Anyway, basically that's controlling the pitch. And it's basically saying that the ship should not pitch. And it's actually doing a really good job right now. The ship is incredibly stable. Like, look at that. I can't even... Oh, no, I can just about see maybe a slight pitching back and forwards. Yeah, there's ever so slight, but that could just be the waves. And what it is this is just keeping us level. I've also got the same for roll. I used a PID controller to set up the roll. So in theory, when we fire the guns, which I did find when I test-fired the guns, because they are ridiculous calibers, we were rolling, and when we roll away from our shots, it couldn't actually shoot targets, because the targets were below the angle the guns could declinate to. Declinate? Yeah, I think declinate. So these basically help us roll. What else? What else? What else? You can see we've got a lovely edge at the back here. I mean, that looks actually really, really badass. And I would have put that edge on all the way around, except for the fact that if I put it at the front, we wouldn't actually be able to get a shot with this front gun. So I declined to do that there. What else? What else? We've got repair bots here. 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 And here. I've got this weird block at the back, and the reason for that is I needed more energy for the shields. So I put another engine in here. Yep. What about up the front? Got another engine in here. I could arm this a little bit more, because right now it's just effectively one layer of metal exposed. I'm debating that one. What else do we have? I put a second load of ammo in. You notice that this room is no longer as large as it used to be because there is ammo here. One layer of metal on that side, however, there are two on the side here, and two here, and there's an air gap, so in theory the explosion from that shouldn't take out anything like this turret. In theory. And I believe it should also not get this ammo here. Yes, it's far enough away. So we have extra ammo, mainly because I found we're running out of ammo when firing all our guns continually. At the back, we also have a couple of jet engines, just because we need the speed booster more precisely. We need something to balance out the fact that the center of mass is somewhere about here, and all of our propellers are down here. Got a lot of shields. I did have to start going a little bit less on the shields. Like, ideally, I'd have like a shield here, maybe a couple on the back, and I certainly would have shields all the way down the side here, which I don't have. I've got a shield there, but that's about it. Ideally, I'd have another shield, you know, here or something. Because we started to run out of power. All in all, it's a pretty badass ship, though. So let's bring the HUD up, and you can see that we have 20,000 power. We've got 6,000 spare. 6,000 spare is okay, but when we're moving at full speed, we'll use a little bit more, and we might lose, you know, this engine quite easily because it's, you know, positioned at the front. I could put more shields in, covering the back here, but it would be pushing it. You see, yeah, now we're going forwards. We're using quite a lot of power up. Max speed, if we just push everything full. I could get it up to 20, but it was a bit weird at 20 because it was starting to, like, push really far down the nose or go really far up with the nose. And especially you don't want the nose going up because then you can't get shots when you're moving forwards towards the enemy. So I've managed to get to a good 15. You notice that it's actually keeping a pretty good course. It's not actually, you know, bouncing up and down a lot. And if I turn it, it's not rolling particularly much, despite the fact that the roll thrusters are well below the center of mass. So 15 meters per second for something this heavily armored, I think is pretty decent. I mean, you know, that's actually really fast in terms of, you know, land vehicles. We're talking, what, you know, 60-some miles an hour, more than that? It's fast. The front cannon, I did do some alterations to. The front cannon is now one barrel, but 4 barrels. It's one firing piece, I guess. And it's set up so that it only fires once every 48 per minute. So, what, once every 12 seconds or so? Sorry, once every 1.2 seconds. Yeah, 1.25. And that way the railgun can charge up. And we can get the accuracy down to... Why have you got a shell loaded? Why have you not got a shell loaded? Seriously. What? Have you just lost the connection? I think you just lost the connection. This is pretty weird. You should be... 5 shell module 3 casing? No, 4. Because you should have more casing. Think? Not certain. Load the shells. There we go. Inaccuracy. 0.051. That's pretty reasonable. Now let's double check that shell casing. Actually, no, you should be this one. Now, the reason is I've got 2 here. This one has a base bleeder. This one forgoes the base bleeder, but has a supercavitation base. That's our rear gun. The reason the rear gun has that is because, just in case we encounter subs, I do want to be able to shoot them. And the rear gun should be able to get a shot on the sub with its supercavitation gun. The easiest way for me to just deset the ammo... Like, here's one thing I'd really like in the game. Just a suggestion. Assign all unassigned. I would like to be able to assign all assigned, not, like, just reset everything. I don't want to have to, like, manually go through every single input. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. Now, of course, I could paint it. I'm going to wait to paint it after I've done sea trials. These missiles here are Lure. They're actually using a Javelin script I got off the forum. I wonder if it's... because I want to, like, attribute it if I can. No, they haven't commented out, like, a name at the top. So whoever made that on the forum, it's a Javelin script where basically the missiles go up, fly over their target, and then go down and attack them from the top, which is great, a top attack missile. And the reason I'm using that is because it avoids the whole missile skimming the water thing. Although if I am doing, you know, vertical launch missiles, it's unlikely. But, yeah, it's fun. It's a variety. I'm going to have to delete you.
Listening. I'm clicking you, don't worry.
Let's watch it get destroyed in slow motion. My god, the holes. Slowly it's disappearing, bit by bit. It's interesting how the center bit deletes first. Right, so you're assigned... Let's just check that the others haven't forgotten their assignments. Yeah, you've got the right one. Rear gun. Yep, you've got the right one. Okay, we're cool. What else to talk about? Oh, the PID controllers. I'll have to save it now that you've got the right one. Have you loaded yet? Yeah, so with the inaccuracy, when firing is probably going to be about 0.18, I imagine, because it won't be able to charge all the way down to this. Although that said, we have got a lot of batteries. And the sustained fire, I imagine we will deplete the batteries, so... right. Also, by the way, I'm actually really liking these stairs down the side here. Like, they feel correct. Like, you can walk down here. I mean, you have to jump because stairs don't work. And then, even though you have to go out kind of here, it looks nice because of the way I've designed it. I really actually do like that. I still think this is a bit of an ugly ship in some regards, though, but overall, I think it kind of works. So, the PID controls, let's talk about those. We have two PID controllers here, which are general-purpose PID controllers. And hydrofoil. Actually, sorry. General-purpose pitch and... No, that's not hydrofoil. There we go. General-purpose roll. That was hydrofoil. Shoot. So... This is set to gain equal time, derivation time. And basically what this does is it detects certain stimuli and then applies a response. So in the case of roll, this applies a certain force against it. And you can see here, I think the blue is a control variable. This is the output from the PID controller. So this is what it's trying to do to compensate. And I think green is the process variable. So the green is like the roll. You can see the vague green thing here. And you can see the blue is what we're doing in response. So we're effectively thrusting the other way. So you can see as the green gets higher here, blue is thrusting the other way. Green gets lower here, blue is thrusting the other way. And it means that we aren't really rolling. Now, you can't really see that at the moment. I guess if I put test stimuli on and I roll us like... let's roll about 8 degrees. You know what? I'll just type in the number 8. You can see that suddenly we've rolled to 8 degrees and the PID controller is trying to push us down. It's trying hard, but we are being set to be at 8 degrees. So, and then I have to take that off. How quickly does it get us back to 0? Fairly quickly, actually. With a little bit of overshoot, but not much. So if we were like to test stimulate that, like firing... Oh, it doesn't work if actually you do this. You've got to, like, set this to 0, 8, 0, 8, 0, 4, 0. And you see here that it is trying its best to balance this out. And it works quite well. This one here is the general purpose pitch. I don't know if this is actually going to do anything. Oh, yeah, look. Output saturate. It's pushing as hard as it can to prevent the back going down. Because the back on this craft is actually heavier than the front. Because we've got, you know, ammo towards the back. We've got engines at the back. A lot of things like that. I think there is generally more air at the front of the ship, too. Which is probably the right thing to do, since we're going to get shot a lot more at the front. And you can see that we're already saturating the output, just trying to keep ourselves from going under. But it is only saturating occasionally. You can see it's saturating when it gets to the bottom here, and then it sort of, as we start flowing upwards again, it sort of starts to ease off, and then it pushes us. So if I was to test stimulate and go to, like, 3-degree pitch... It's trying its best, bless it, to actually try and get us to pitch forwards. It's more likely that we'd go pitch backwards, because the rear pitch is ridiculous. But you can see that we're still not pitching all that much. And the engine is doing its best to keep us level. And while it's hard to actually see from the PID controller, they are really kind of actually complicated. Right, this is the ammo processor, so turns the ammo processors off. And this is a none. Right, I want to repeat you. So, if enemy range is less than 5,000... 4,000. Then shield projectors to reflect. Okay. If enemy range on no enemies is greater than 5,000 or no enemies, set shield controller to off. Sweet. And you can see our shields are gone now. And now if we spawn in an enemy, say a... we should probably save this first. Right. And let's spawn in a couple of sledges. Oh, not right in front of me. It's a little bit too close, mate. Let's try west. Yeah, there we go. That's a good distance. Right. Anti-missile gun. Waiting for them to get in range, I think. We're only shooting at 800 meters. You completely missed me. Why was that? Not even sure why that was. But yeah, it does a pretty good job, I think. Shields. Shields are up. Let's watch the missiles now. So this is our top-down firing missiles. These ones you can see a lot more obviously. They're arcing downwards. I've also put some resources in our ship. Oh, hello. We lost the end of our cannon. So we've actually got some resources sitting around. I believe they are here. So we actually keep 26,000 almost metal on board just to repair the ship. Also set firing angles on all the guns. I don't know why you're not shooting down those missiles like you should be. Right. Let's just... Shrikes. Bum, 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 bum. Because they just drop mines, right? The mines are slow moving. Here we go. Come on, shoot down the mines. Shoot down the mines. Shoot down the mines. Come on, they're easy to hit. Yeah, they're locked. They're not even moving. Oh, hello. Right. Now it is. Why are you not... You can see mines over here. I have no idea why they're not shooting... These side guns, they did used to work, but they don't seem to be working as readily now. I wonder if they're trying to target something that's out of their line of sight. Because they do have a limited line of sight, because I told them, you know, you can't look backwards through the ship. And I wonder if that's it. I wonder if they're trying to target something that they can't shoot. And the game is basically... Oh, hello. Yes! Okay, you did work there. So you saw that it fired a 3-round burst. Effectively with 6... barrels, it fires a 3-round burst and another 3-round burst. But it doesn't seem to be working very well. Okay, let's destroy all vessels. I do worry about you sometimes. Okay, let's try against something big. Could launch the Eerie. It's expert, though. Sure, let's do it. Shields up. Bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum. Missiles are getting through, though they aren't doing much damage because they're only 1 HE each. We're going to be relying on our shields to bounce that, although a lot of them are hitting the rear section, which we are not shielded on. Ow! Yep, we took a pretty large hit. That took out the second ammo store, which hasn't done any other damage, which is excellent. It's always good news. Okay, but the lack of shells around that ammo store, not shells, shields around that ammo store is certainly showing. Okay, so the damage so far is done by the Gatling cannon and the frags. The crams are having a hard time hitting because it's turning. Oh, actually there we got some very nice hits on the rear. Oh, excellent. Yes. Now, I think the Gatling cannon is MVP here right now. It's doing a lot of good work. Okay, how much damage are we taking over here? Oh, that cram cannon shell's very large. Headed directly for our command tower. Nope. Yes. Oh, nice. This thing's going to start having problems staying airborne soon. Because it stopped moving. Well, it's still moving slightly, but not as much as it was, which means that our shell's going to have an easier time. Ah, we missed the front turret. Our Gatling cannon's dried up a little bit now. Needs to reload. Bounced. Bounced. And over. Oh! So close. Okay. Good hit with the yellows. Not much damage. Oh, that was nice. Looks like a lot of its guns have been damaged enough that their fire rate's gone down. Excellent. This guy's going to start disappearing soon. Yes. I've got to say, though, his ability to stay airborne with this much damage, like, look at that heli blade, right? It's impressive. Our Gatling cannon's in full swing again, doing its job. I mean, honestly, the fact we're hitting the rear is actually really helpful to us, because if we're hitting the front, the shields would have probably helped defend it from a lot of firepower. Oh, hello. Bounce, bounce, and over. Its laser and missile system is no longer working. Oh. Just chunks being taken out now. We're through the metal hide into the lovely, juicy, light metal interior. I believe you're light. No, you're actually metal, by the look of it. Okay, cram cannons. Ah, no! Just under. You are taking a while to die, I'll give you that. But it's more just pure stubbornness, like, there's no chance you're going to really win this one unless you get very, very lucky. That was a good hit. That was a nice hit. And it went off internally, which is what I was aiming for with that cram cannon. Oh, and I think that's it despawning. The missiles have stopped locking to it. Yes. Oh, hello. You actually hit me with something explosive. That hurt. Right, so how much damage did we take? I mean, we've been repairing it as the battle goes on. We get a general idea. So, you ripped a hole here. Now, there are actually ammo processors in the sides now, so when we actually get hit on the side, there is a chance that all the ammo processors will just go up, so that's probably what happened there. They are sectioned off, so there's like 3 sections of ammo processors. We took some hits here on the rear turret, although the rear turret did keep firing. I honestly think that if we were to change anything, it would just be shields down the length of the side, where we've only got them currently in like one place. I think we would need more shields, but the thing is, for that would be pushing our power limit. And I want power spare. Now, you might be wondering, why do you want 6,000 power spare? It's to be able to run the railgun system. Because you need the spare power to recharge the batteries. Okay, I'm expecting some flak weapons. Come on. Fire, flak. Fire. Fire! It's not even attempting to shoot them down. No idea why this is. Oh, it's actually destroyed. Oh! We're not EMP hardened. That's the one thing I haven't done to the cruiser. It is not EMP hardened. I definitely need to put some EMP things in to be able to try and absorb that. Right now, the EMP is going straight through and damaging all the critical components. Oh! We did fire! Come on, keep firing. Keep firing. Oh god, no, don't take the rear cannon out. That's the only thing that can shoot you. It's a rear cannon disabled. Nope, still got the rear cannon. Their problem is they're really, really low. We could install some torpedoes or something. I'll be interested to see what people suggest. By the way, we're trying to outrun these torpedoes. It's just not going to happen. Bye. Ow. It'll be interesting to see what people suggest to try and be able to defeat it. Bad missiles. Go in the water. No. No, don't get me. Don't get me. Don't get me. Don't get me. No. No. Bad missiles. No. No. God damn it. Yes, we got a shot off there. Please tell me it's a hit. Ah, shields. But it is working, right? We are able to shoot underwater, just not great. But yeah, the Venants can take out our venerable battleship. Now, some might suggest an underwater cannon. Now, the downside of that is it would slow us down. We could put torpedoes in. Again, I'll have to find someone to put them in. And probably involve something underwater. I mean, there's space at the bow if we get rid of that extra engine. But I don't really want to do that. So, I'm interested to see what people suggest. I'm going to delete that. It's totally going to win. What I need to do is put some EMP dampeners in. Surge protectors to be able to mitigate some of that EMP. Because we are a very large metal craft, which means that we conduct EMP really easily. Ow. Ow. Why are you not doing anything, repair bots? For God's sake. There's repairing needs to be done. You lazy little... Ow. That said, I'm still somewhat happy with how limited the damage is, considering. Oh, and the poor ship's trying to... Look, it's trying to roll its... It's not trying to roll itself. Why are you not trying to roll yourself? Have we lost the PID controller? Yes. Yes, we've lost every sensitive electronic device in the entire rear of the ship and midsection. I've been EnterElysium. We're going to end it there for today. Really just touching up the craft, trying out against some enemies just to display what its capabilities are. Unfortunately, its capabilities with its side guns don't seem to be great. They do sometimes work. Especially when they're there and not destroyed. That tends to help. If I was going to, you know, build this again, I'd probably put an extra section in for more engine power so I can have more shields. Just because it does have places where the shields are just missing. Especially on the sides of the ship lower down, which, you know, you do get shot half the time. But, all in all, I'm fairly happy with it. It is completely over budget. Hopefully we'll be able to build one soon in our campaign. I don't think it's a cruiser. I saved it as cruiser, but because we went 2.5 times the budget, I think it is now a battleship. I don't think it's even a battlecruiser. I think it's just a battleship. Now, battlecruisers are really just battleships, but with the armor and speed of a cruiser. No, it has armor, and the speed is it's okay, but I think it's definitely a battleship. I'm going to install some surge protectors to do that off camera, and then we'll just go back to the campaign, and we'll actually have a little bit of a start of a new war against the Onyx Watch once we build one of these puppies. The first one is going to be called the Mukujin class. No longer an awesome badass fighter, but in fact a battleship. Mukujin, you get all the best things. I've been EnterElysium. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Please consider subscribing, and until next time, just remember to stay shiny.